Welcome to Secrets of Chinese Sages. Today, I want to share with you a powerful concept called emotive momentum. It comes from a book written by Japanese author Watanabe Junichi. Though I read it many years ago and haven't opened it since, the core ideas have been etched into my mind and continue to influence how I live and work each day. So, what is emotive momentum? Simply put, it is the ability to turn your attention inward, toward your own emotions, rather than being overly concerned with the outside world. It's about caring more for your inner responses than the judgments of others. It's the ability to let go of a rigid ego in pursuit of truth and self-awareness. In everyday terms, people with strong emotive momentum tend to have thicker skin. But that resilience doesn't come from insensitivity. It stems from a strong heart and emotional stability. Those with high emotive momentum aren't easily shaken by petty issues. This, I believe, is a true sign of inner strength. I consider myself a highly sensitive person. I've experienced great joy from this sensitivity, but also deep emotional struggles, more intense than what most people face. Sensitivity is a gift, but like everything in life, it must be regulated. Water that fills to the brim will spill. A full moon will wane. Learning to manage sensitivity is essential, and that's where emotive momentum comes in. This concept emphasizes that true strength lies in calmness and the ability to stay composed when facing adversity. In today's world, stress seeps into our lives from every angle. Hostile work environments, toxic relationships, unrelenting competition. These pressures act like viruses, slowly corroding our well-being. That's why emotive momentum functions as both lubricant and lever for life's burdens. It's the power that allows us to bloom amid hardship. I witnessed this principle in action recently. A friend of mine told me her boss had gone through 5 assistants in a year. The latest one quit and said he needed months to recover before even thinking about another job. Curious, I asked more about this boss. Turns out he was impulsive, harsh, and had a habit of publicly criticizing his assistants. I don't condone that kind of leadership, but I realized something important. When someone is overly sensitive, harsh words become dangerous weapons. That assistant's breakdown showed how deeply words can wound when our emotional core is fragile. Emotive momentum teaches us that if you can remain unshaken by minor slights, your flexibility and sensitivity can become your superpower. Only then can you truly succeed and rise above. Hearing that story reminded me of a former boss I deeply admire. Despite constant pressure from upper management, he always remained calm and composed. He could sense the undertones of his superiors' expectations without letting them affect his behavior. The next day, he'd return to work cheerful and driven, as if nothing had happened. That, to me, is the essence of strong emotive momentum. This boss wasn't just mentally resilient. He was also in incredible physical shape. While younger colleagues dealt with stress-related health issues, he remained healthy, ate well, and consistently received excellent health reports. What's striking is that he didn't even exercise much. The book says good health comes not from exercise alone, but from smooth, uninterrupted blood flow. When we get caught in negative thoughts or dwell too long on harsh words, we disrupt that flow. Letting such noise pass through us without leaving a trace is what keeps the inner energy moving freely. He used to say, "Don't overthink, just live your life well." Maybe that's why he was so full of life. To me, he became a role model. There's a saying I love from a Western essayist I admire: "In life, expect only 1 or 2 beautiful things because the rest will surely disappoint." I hold that wisdom close. So, what are the traits of people with strong emotive momentum? First, they are indifferent to others' judgments. When they make decisions, they prioritize their own feelings and goals over the opinions of others. They aren't concerned with being liked or validated. They stay grounded in their own purpose. As Haruki Murakami once wrote, "Not all fish live in the same ocean." You and others are different worlds. Your life is yours alone. Ironically, when you're struggling, some people pity you, but when you're thriving, they lash out as if they've been wounded. Second, they possess emotional stability. Watanabe wrote that those with strong emotive momentum might seem slow or dull, but in truth, they're wise. When faced with problems, they pause and reflect. In conflicts, they don't react impulsively. Neuroscientists say most emotional outbursts happen within the first 90 seconds of anger. If you can wait, the emotion will subside. People with strong emotive momentum give themselves more space in that emotional window. They don't panic. They're not easily disturbed. Third, they have a short emotional memory. They don't hold grudges. A good meal or a new train of thought can lift their spirits. They don't dwell on sadness or let unimportant people rent space in their minds. To outsiders, they may seem carefree, but that very trait allows them to live better and achieve more. How do we develop emotive momentum? First, let go of the spotlight effect. This is the belief that we are always being watched and judged. In reality, people are too busy with their own lives to care what you wore or said yesterday. Even if you're the subject of gossip for a day or two, you'll soon fade into the background. When you internalize that, you'll realize you're not as important in others' eyes as you think, and that's freeing. Second, cultivate patience. If you fail once, try again. If you don't pass the exam, study more. If something's difficult, repeat it until it becomes easy. Rushing leads to mistakes. Worrying leads to self-destruction. Go slower. Third, distance yourself from negative people. Avoid the envious and the petty. Don't let them drag you down. Remember, you don't pay my bills, I don't live for you, so what I do is none of your business. Let them rant like wind passing over mountains or moonlight on a flowing river, soft, indifferent, and distant. What matters is what you think. Honor your own emotions and needs. When you detach from outside noise, you meet your true self. Fourth, filter out the noise. We live in an era of constant distractions. Social media, endless opinions, they cloud our judgment. Doom scrolling drains more energy than a full day of labor. Invest your energy wisely. If the noise doesn't make you happy, don't listen to it. Live honestly. Tune your sensitivity toward the things and people that truly matter. Fifth, stop overanalyzing. Ever spent hours obsessing over a throwaway comment? The more you think about it, the more exhausted you become. Trying to read others' minds only leads to false assumptions and unnecessary pain. Sometimes we don't even understand ourselves. How can we expect to understand others? So don't guess, just ask. If someone seems upset, ask if it was something you said. That simple act can bring tremendous relief. Shift your thoughts inward, focus on yourself, you'll be much happier. Emotive momentum is not emotional numbness. It is the strength to remain undisturbed by external chaos. It's a calm state of mind that protects us from being easily shaken. Whenever I notice myself overthinking, I redirect my attention to something else. Over time, I've found a lighter, freer way of living. Nothing can truly hurt me anymore, and very little is worth the trouble of getting upset. Most of the people and things outside us don't have the power to affect us unless we give them that power. There's a saying that many life problems can be solved with just two questions. What does this have to do with you? And what does this have to do with me? Though blunt, these words carry profound wisdom. They remind us to center our focus on what truly matters to us, our own values, our own direction. That's exactly what emotive momentum teaches. The ability to remain unaffected by external judgment, to strengthen the inner world and grow from within. In modern society, we are bombarded with expectations and noise. Without inner strength, we become anxious and insecure. But if we nurture emotive momentum, we build a sanctuary inside ourselves, one that's peaceful and grounded. It is about balance, knowing your worth and not needing validation. It doesn't mean becoming cold or detached. It means standing up for your truth, expressing your feelings with courage, and holding firm to your path, even if it brings friction. One essential part of building emotive momentum is learning what deserves your attention and what should be ignored. This reduces unnecessary burdens and frees up energy for what truly matters. That mindset not only helps in personal growth, but also increases your effectiveness in your career and relationships. Another key is building self-confidence. I used to constantly compare myself to others. My parents did it too. Since childhood, I lived in the shadow of someone else's perfect child. Whether it was school, career, or love, I always felt inadequate. But here's the truth. Who says you have to hit life's milestones at a certain age? Who made the rule that you must achieve something by 20 or be settled by 30? Life isn't a race. You're not here to copy someone else's journey. If life were a video game, you might be playing League of Legends while I'm playing Fortnite. There's no point in comparing. Some people quit their careers at 30 to travel the world. Others go back to school at 40. Life has its own rhythm for each person. Once you understand that, you'll stop trying to fit someone else's mold and start crafting your own. This shift in mindset expands your perspective. You begin to judge problems not by how they make you feel in the moment, but by how they fit into the bigger picture. This improves your emotional regulation and helps you handle complex situations with clarity and grace. It also teaches patience. Whether in work or in life, long-term challenges require steady effort. When we are patient, we stop reacting to every little thing. We move with strategy and intention. That's how goals are truly reached. Seeing life from a broader lens not only helps us manage what's happening now, it lays the foundation for lasting success. That's why we must train ourselves to maintain this wide perspective and to respect time and patience as the guardians of growth. Another important step is to find your direction in life. Often, our hypersensitivity and vulnerability stem from caring too much about others' opinions. We rely on their praise for motivation, and when it's absent, we feel lost. But building your life on external approval is dangerous. It's unstable. You lose control over your own sense of direction. A life without purpose drifts. You chase anything and everything. You become blind and confused. That's why having a clear goal is essential. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? Write down your goals, then narrow them down until only the most important one remains, the one that speaks to your deepest desire. Once you know that path, you'll have clarity and motivation. And when you're driven by internal purpose rather than outside praise, your life becomes more grounded. Through inner motivation, you'll walk your own road with stability and fulfillment. Finally, here's a practical skill: how to respond when criticized. People with strong emotive momentum don't panic when they're judged. They stay calm. That's because they know their worth doesn't depend on someone else's comment. First, reflect. Was there some truth in the feedback? If yes, learn from it. If not, don't take it to heart. Stand your ground, kindly but firmly. Emotional regulation is a universal challenge. When emotions spin out of control, try to detach. Imagine stepping outside yourself and observing the situation as an outsider. This trick brings clarity. It helps you see your emotions without being consumed by them. In relationships, whether romantic, familial, or professional, it helps to lower your expectations. High expectations lead to disappointment. When we accept people as they are without demanding too much, we free ourselves from unnecessary pain. Surrounding yourself with a positive support system is vital. Seek out people who are optimistic, generous, calm, joyful, and energized, people who uplift you. These relationships shape a lifestyle that's not only healthy, but deeply fulfilling. Remember, life is a journey of self-discovery. By learning and growing, we become stronger, more confident, and ready to face whatever comes our way. Emotive momentum helps us not only manage our emotions, but also build a life that is rich, steady, and joyful. If high sensitivity is something you're born with, then emotive momentum is a skill you must cultivate. In love, practicing emotive momentum means learning how to forgive, how to soften your partner's flaws, and meet them with empathy. This ability is key to creating a resilient and lasting relationship. In the workplace, it becomes even more important. Every person makes mistakes. Everyone has different thresholds for stress. Work environments are filled with tension, misunderstandings, and unspoken conflicts. Those who have emotive momentum know how to navigate these challenges with grace. They don't crumble under pressure. They stay steady, and that's why they succeed. We must realize that inside each of us lives a child, a vulnerable self in need of care and protection. In a busy, demanding world, we often forget to tend to that inner space. But by developing emotive momentum, we gain the tools to shield that inner child, to remain calm amidst storms, and to find true peace from within. Most people, when criticized, feel demoralized, especially those who were raised with praise and success, unaccustomed to failure or blame. Just a few harsh words can unravel their confidence. That's why emotive momentum, emotional resilience, and the ability to maintain joy are closely intertwined. Some older individuals remain strong and healthy simply because they don't let others' words get to them. They may hear comments, but they let them pass, like wind. Some might call it stubbornness, but this attitude is often the key to their mental and physical longevity. My grandfather was such a man. Throughout his life, his happiness or sorrow never hinged on wealth or circumstance. Had it not been for illness in his later years, I believe he would have lived even longer. His secret to resilience is something we would all do well to learn and apply. I admit I'm someone who often hesitates and overthinks, but after embracing emotive momentum, I realize that overanalyzing gets me nowhere. When you lack confidence or clarity, thinking more doesn't always help. What you need is action, courage to step forward even without all the answers. There's a quote that deeply resonated with me. These days, it's not brilliance or sharpness that makes the biggest difference. It's the ability to stay calm in chaos that defines true talent. Without emotive momentum, sensitivity and intelligence can become liabilities, pulling us into anxiety and hesitation. But with it, they transform into strengths, guiding us on our life's journey. Looking back, I know I'm not particularly gifted or clever, but what I can train is my ability to remain composed, to not be shaken by trivial matters, and I've committed to walking that path. In the book, The Courage to be Disliked, it said that most of our frustrations come from relationships. When we face jealousy, criticism, or unreasonable behavior from others, the key is not to overreact. Instead, ask, why did they act that way? Try to understand where they're coming from. A broad heart and emotive momentum help us navigate daily life with more ease. Even harsh words may be nothing more than thoughtless moments from someone else. So why let them affect us? Letting go of unnecessary worries can make our days lighter and brighter. Emotive momentum keeps us steady and focused even during conflict. With it, we can manage our feelings with clarity and act effectively in every situation. I hope you and I both find our rhythm in this ever-changing world, that we maintain inner peace and strength even in uncertain times. May we learn to release what doesn't matter and stay true to what does. May we face life's challenges with calm and determination. And on the journey of self-discovery and growth, may we continue to evolve, becoming stronger, more confident, and ultimately more. Thank you for listening to Secrets of Chinese Sages. May peace dwell in your heart, and may wisdom guide your path.